Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Creative Burrows Gaming Channel. My name is Isaac, and for today I'm playing Factorio, as would be standard for a Friday, but I thought I'd kind of show up and show you the magic behind the scenes of what I'm doing with these blueprints. Just a real quick overview, kind of how my process works, so that I can have something pre-planned out for when I actually build it in the save file I have for the There Is No Spoon achievement attempt. So over here I was working out my yellow science build. And so I've got my yellow science set up down here. And, well, first I should probably explain what I'm in. Right now what I'm in is creative mode with all the options. And I used a console command to get these very wonderful things called infinity chests. And then I use that to build up a power supply and a robot network that you can see down here, so that I could just start building out to my heart's content. And in creative mode, I can create just about any amount of anything I need. And with those infinity chests, I can store it, have them placed out into a logistics network, have my robots pick them up, pick up the materials, and build out anything I place down. So with that being said, right now I've been working on my yellow science, as I said. Or more appropriately, I should really get used to the proper names for these things. This would be utility science. And it's much more complicated. Well, for the materials you need are a step above production science. But I like getting utility science in first to start facilitating everything I need for a rocket. Or at least that's kind of my plan according to my research map. So I'm going to see how that works out for this attempt. So I'm building out my yellow science, and that's what I place down first. And then I just look at the recipe and start doing the math on what else I need. So I needed robot frames, and I laid those out. I looked at their recipe, since I knew how many robot frames I would need to produce to support this much yellow science. I then looked at everything I needed in the recipe and how much it needed to produce to support this many robot frame producers or assembly machines. And then started building that out, kind of working backwards. And for none of these lines do I have what resources are needed. But when it's placed down, with the recipes intact, it becomes pretty obvious. You know, this needs green circuits, engine units, and lubricant. Well, here we have our lubricant. Here we have our engines coming in. So that means if these inserters are input, then we probably have green circuits going on this line. And this is kind of how I'm organizing this in my head. This is mainly for my own reference. This isn't to be put out to a cloud or a central distribution point for other people. And over here, to save a little bit of space, I do have my engines going directly into my electric engines, since I need the same amount for each. And then once I put this build together, I went down here and did the same thing for low density structures. And those are, well, they're pretty simple. They just need copper plates, steel, and plastics, which in my save file for There Is No Spoon, I've already got built up. And then the last thing needed for yellow science was blue circuits. And blue circuits are also going to be needed other places, because to support the yellow science, all I need is wow, surprised I didn't. Blue circuits, and I do believe I only actually need 6 for my yellow science. There we go. But I've put it out to a full 10 because I think that's what one yellow belt of, according to my math, what one yellow belt of green circuits, which these need 20 of to produce one blue circuit. One yellow belt of green circuits should support up to 10 blue circuit assemblers. And then over here, since it's less needed, will be red circuits. And then from here I can copy this and flip it over and use it on the other side for my outputs here. And once I had this all built out, roughed out to what I needed, I just went ahead and saved it as a blueprint. So here's the yellow and purple science, or the utility and production science packs, which I haven't built out the production science packs blueprint yet, but that's going to be a bit of off-screen work doing just the exact same process. And then over here we have the robot frames and the low density structures for this yellow science build, and the blue circuits, which have a note for how many are necessary for the yellow science. So you don't have to place all of them down at once, you can build it out and expand on it as you need it. Just like I did for green circuits right here. Which I also want to change that up. There we go. Even though I have green circuits balanced to one yellow belt output for this design. And that's for a very good reason, since blue circuits, 10 of them, are going to require an entire yellow transport belt's worth of material of green circuits. So anyways, there's that. Let's hop into the game, because where I'm at right now is 3 hours and 8 minutes into There Is No Spoon. And before I get anywhere, I'm going to have a lot of expansion work. But I think today, since we're working on advanced oil processing and oil cracking, what I am going to work on is getting that oil cracking down. So we'll need a few more of those. Quite a few, actually. We're going to need one offshore pump at the moment, and we are going to need quite a bit of pipes. Actually, I don't need to make these. So I do need to make the offshore pipe. Because what I have down here is my mall producing all of this. So I don't have a whole lot of straight pipe. I'm going to need some of that. I'm going to need some of these. And I'm probably going to need all the undergrounds. Do I have power poles? I've got some, but could always make more. That's what I'll focus my handcrafting on. And to make more of those, I need more copper plates, so we'll get on that. And a bit more steel. There we go. That should give me enough power poles, because what I need to do for cracking is run water in. And I'm going to be taking that water from... I guess I'll take it from right here and just run it straight up. Okay. So, let's get these going in. Preferably without messing everything up. And there we go, there's advanced oil processing. I've got my notes open that are telling me logistics 2 is going to be what I need to research next. After that, we're going to go for advanced materials processing, and then railways, and then concrete, sulfur, batteries, and lubricant. Concrete, sulfur, batteries, and lubricant, just enough spaces. And there we go. So we've got all the tech, and funny enough, it's all red and green science. And so what I need to get cracked into here is... Okay, I know this isn't entirely how I set this up. Oh, okay, I think I might need to flip that around actually if I want this to work right. Which really is not the biggest issue in the world, actually. Oh no, I can make this work. I can definitely make this work. Famous last words, I really do know, but this is kind of how it all goes. So from here, if I want to crack, I could try to take it straight out of there. Or... yeah, that's what I think I'll do. Okay, and that's going down to rocket fuel. Fantastic. Except this one, I want to be heavy oil into light oil. Okay, now I've finally rediscovered the method to my madnesses. There we go. And that's just going to be one big long water line. There we go. Pretty much something like that. Then we just need to get water down here somehow, which should not be a huge issue. Alright, and then we just need to get heavy oil into there, of course. Which that might take a bit more finesse. Oh, okay. There we go. Then we just run a power pole out to there so it's all got power when it needs it. And yeah, I think we won't worry about that little bit right there. Instead, I think we'll just pump it back into the main bus up here since it's coming down into plastics right there. Okay. So there's oil cracking basically set up. Now I just need to figure out where to pull my water from. And that was going to follow, the line right there for the coal, essentially. Okay. I don't think that'll be a big issue. We'll just run it backwards. Running right through the stone patch because, well, I don't have time to make everything very nice and pretty. And then we'll worry about that at a later point. There we go. And there we are. That should be oil cracking all set up and ready to run. I'm not entirely sure why I made the extra power poles there, but I'm sure they're going to come in handy much later down the line. As you can see, I have quite a bit of expanding I need to do for my materials here. Need to get a lot more green circuits in. Like I said, this whole array will support just one set of 10 blue circuits, and I need an independent red circuit array to also run for that, which means I'm going to need a lot of copper, especially for the low density structures. Each low density structure takes 20 copper plates on its own, so my mining output here is going to have to expand by a not insignificant amount. So with that all being said though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for stopping in and giving this video a watch. I hope it's been helpful and informative, at the very least, to the process that I follow when I'm planning all this out and blueprinting it off screen. I will be transferring the blueprint book at a future date over to this save file, but that will be it for today. Next time you see me, next Wednesday, I should have things very well expanded and an entirely new setup to the base. Well, not entirely new, but things much more expanded. It will not look this empty. Let's take a quick look, see if there's any biters on the net. And I'm not seeing any, and our pollution's not stretching that far. So here's to cross some fingers that I won't have any biters coming in to visit. So once again, thank you very much everybody for watching. I hope this has been informative and enjoyable. If you have any comments on what you'd like to see, how you'd like to see me improve these videos for you, feel free to drop them down below. And I'll catch you next Wednesday. Goodbye.